Hello Metroids, welcome to a special update. This isn't my monthly update, this one's a little bit early, so I will come back to it at the end of the month as well. Today is an important update though. I want to talk to you about exchanges. We've had a lot of the community say, let's get listed on a big exchange, let's get on Binance, let's send Binance and tag CZ, and let's get on all the big names, FTX and KuCoin and Oki and Liquid. Guys, what I'll do today is I want to break this down. There's obviously a lot of people don't understand the listing procedure, they don't understand the listing requirements. So it's great to say, let's just tag everyone on Twitter and we'll get a little campaign and we'll all vote and we'll all just get on Binance. It's not how it works. So today, what I want to do is let's run through a little bit of education, and the education is going to come from my personal experience. So if anyone else has been through this process, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's not a simple process. You don't just ring up the exchange and say, hey, I'll list on you, send me the application. It's nothing like that. So firstly, what I want to do is I'll talk to you about the listing process, and then I'll talk to you about the exchange that we've been waiting for. And then I'm going to change my shirt and I'm going to talk to you about a new exchange. So first, let's start with the education. Binance. To get listed on Binance, normally what happens is you make an application and then they contact you. It's as simple as that. There is no other correspondence. Until they contact you, nothing happens. There are ways that you can recontact, resubmit for updates. Now, that's what I've been doing. Every 2 weeks, I've updated them with where the project's going. Here's our new roadmap. Here's what we've achieved. Guess what? Here's a capital raise using BNB. We're supporting Binance. So all of this information Binance is aware of. In saying that, Binance has never come back to us with an offer. And there's multiple reasons for that, and you'll understand more in a minute. If we look at other, like OKEx, unless you've got massive daily volume and a massive market cap, you're simply not going to list on them. They're not interested. Exchanges aren't there to look after the project. Exchanges are there to make money. And when you work from that mindset, you'll understand more and more of what we go now. Due to non-disclosure agreements, I do have to be a little bit careful with what I say and how I say it. So I'm not going to give you exact requirements for an exact exchange, because that is a breach of the non-disclosure. If you look at CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and you look at, let's say, the top 5, chances are they're a tier 1 exchange. There's 3 tiers of exchanges: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. For a tier 1, again, not being specific on any exchange, just saying for a tier 1 in general, you're normally going to need a market cap far exceeding $100 million. You're normally going to need daily volume far exceeding $10 million. Now, unless you've got $10 million of daily volume, forget it. You're not going to be listed on them. It's not going to happen. If you do list on them, you're going to be delisted, and it's a matter of time. And there's always exceptions to the rule. There's always back-end deals and whatever else. But in general, that's what you're talking. For a tier 2 exchange, you need to have a market cap of $10 million. And you need to have daily volume of $100,000 to $200,000, depending on the exchange. For a tier 3 exchange, it's just a listing fee and a little bit, maybe 20,000 a day. That's really all it is. Now, from there, the tier 1 exchanges then bring in liquidity. So you might have daily volume of, let's say, $10 million. But if you don't have 20% of that 10 million on each side, the buy and the sell, at each percentage for the spread, then you're in breach of the contract and you're going to be delisted. Now, what does that actually mean? I'll keep it as simple as I can, because there's no reason for everyone to fully understand what I'm talking about. But what it means is the liquidity that you need to provide in the native coin being Metrix, and the liquidity you need to provide in the trading pair, whether it's BTC, USDT, Ethereum, whatever the trading pair is going to be quite significant. Now, on a top tier exchange, the liquidity pool is going to have to exceed at least $400,000 on each side. So something like, again, I won't use names. On a top tier, if you don't have $800,000 in liquidity, then the chances are you are going to be delisted, because you're not meeting the spread rules and not meeting the liquidity at each level. Okay, so let's go and get listed on a top tier exchange. Great. Firstly, we need between $500 and $1 million for the listing fee. Now we need another $800,000 for the liquidity. Now we need to pay a market maker to ensure that the spread is maintained, the liquidity at each level is maintained, and the daily volume is maintained. So to do that, obviously there's going to be another cost, and you're probably looking, the average top tier exchange is looking about 200 to 250,000 a year for the market making services. So Metrix, our market cap at the moment is about 10, 15 million. Our daily volume is around, I don't know, it's so hard to tell at the moment, and I'll talk about that in a sec, but the daily volume is negligible. So top tier exchange, forget it. It's not going to happen. Not this year, not early next year. It's just not going to happen. Okay. So let's move back to tier 2 and tier 3. We're on all the tier 3s, and some, depending on how they're rated, may be tier 2. So DigiFinex is in between a tier 2 and a tier 3, leaning towards tier 3. P2P is the same. Whitebit is the same. Barter trade hasn't really qualified yet, so it would start as a tier 3. Now, to go from where we are up to the next level, the idea was to run market makers, to run competitions, to run trading competitions, to do all sorts of promotions through the exchanges to get our daily volume up. Now, DigiFinex, at one point, we were running at between $200,000 and $300,000 per day. Now, that was working nicely. Peer-to-peer, we were around $100,000, $150,000 a day. The issue we have on both of these exchanges is the API. Now, what the API does is it reports back to CoinMarketCap and also to CoinGecko, outlining what is the reported volume of the daily volume from these exchanges. Now, a percentage of that was made up of investors buying and selling, traders buying and selling, and entering and exiting trades. The rest of it was made up from the market maker, who is providing liquidity and maintaining spread. Now, the issue being is if that volume is not reported back to the reporting agencies, being CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, then there is no daily volume seen. If there's no daily volume seen, it's not that attractive for investors. They go look at it and say, well, it's ranked 3,000, and we should be ranked in the top 400 at the moment. And the reason we're not ranked in the top 400 is our reported volume is not showing. So we've tried to fix this. Now, again, without using any specific exchange names, one exchange that we are listed on has turned the API off for the simple reason the spread is too large. And the spread being too large, if they keep doing it, it pushes them down as a lower tier exchange. So until they turn that API on, we will never have daily volume reported on that exchange. So we've actually turned the market maker off. We're not paying for those services when it's not getting any benefit. Another exchange that we're on at the moment has challenges with their API, and it's not through their own fault. They are working on it, but it's just not working. So we've had to take some drastic steps, because unless we've got good daily volume, investors aren't interested in listing with us. Investors aren't interested in investing with us. Exchanges aren't interested in listing us. So these are major problems that we need to fix. The good news is it has been addressed. So what I want to talk about is one of the exchanges, which was a tier 2 exchange, that back in December 2020, we were in final negotiations with. We put a verbal agreement in place in December because we couldn't just go and list on it. Because firstly, there's the requirements to list, which we didn't meet, being the daily volume, being the spread, and being the liquidity. Secondly, we didn't have the listing fee. We also didn't have the market maker fee. We had not enough money to even look at it. But the deal was done back then verbally. Now, what I did was I made it 90 days to give us plenty of time to get ready for this listing. That 90 days came and went very, very quickly. During that 90-day period, we brought market maker on other exchanges. We lifted our daily volume, we fixed liquidity, and we put a guarantee in place that once listed, all that would be in play. So that was signed off on. We then went and got a legal opinion to make sure that we were not a security and to make sure that we were a virtual currency. Now, there's a huge amount of work involved in getting that. You're dealing with lawyers, you've got to have all the correct paperwork. They go through the project like a fine-tooth comb. They go through the directors and the shareholders. Any beneficiary, like a fine-tooth comb. For me personally, they looked back 25 years of my history because I'm the CEO. So if there's any fraudulent activity whatsoever, instantly scrapped. It wasn't an easy process to get through. We got through it. We got approved. We got the legal opinion back, and it was perfect. The exchange agreed to list us. From there, we did the capital raise. We raised enough funds to cover the listing fee, which was paid. It was paid in mid-March of 2021. We paid the market maker in preparation to have everything done. So all the dots were dotted, all the T's were crossed. All the liquidity requirements were set, all the legal requirements were sorted. Now we're ready to move forward. The agreement was signed by both parties, and we're now in the queue for listing. Now, when we first started our talks back in December, the wait time was 2 to 3 weeks. I said, look, that's not an issue at all. I hope to have everything in place by February. By the end of March, Q1 will be listed. Now, that wasn't the case. It took a lot longer on the paperwork, on the company registration side. We had to change a lot of documents within the company. We had to change the shareholdership. We had to go and get notarized documents. Then we had to re-notarize documents because some parts weren't on the documents. And I mean, it is just a nightmare when you're dealing at this level. That was all completed by mid-March. The payment was made by mid-March. We're ready to go. The issue being, between December and mid-March is a huge amount of other projects came through. We were pushed further and further back in the queue. We were told that we will aim for Q2. Worst case, it'll be Q3. Q2 came and went. The communication got worse and worse with the exchange as we weren't a priority. We weren't anywhere near the front of the line. We were further and further back in the line, and it was just driving me nuts personally. We had an agreement that it would definitely be done by Q3. Well, guys, Q3 came and Q3 went. At the end of Q3, we still weren't listed. We had to take the matter into our own hands. We then went and sought counsel, legal counsel. We served the exchange with a notice. We gave them an ultimatum. List us within 10 days or refund our money in full. We're now at the end of that process. Last week, the money was refunded in full. So we're no longer moving forward with that exchange. I'd love to tell you the name of the exchange. I'd love to publicly announce it. I'm waiting on legal advice because what I've told you is 100% factual. What I've told you is 100% documented on my side and the exchange side. So I don't think there's any legalities that can come against me personally. I don't think there's any legalities that come against the team or the project. But I just want to tread a little bit carefully because there were non-disclosure agreements signed. So by mentioning the name of them publicly, I'd rather draw a line in the sand, put that behind us, and we'll move forward. Okay, so that's 100% full transparency from the CEO of Metrix Coin. That's 100% of the facts of what has happened. I won't bore you with all the details in between, but I can tell you it wasn't from a lack of effort on our side that stopped this listing. But it was 100% turned off from our side because I was not prepared to wait till 2022 or 2023 for this listing. It just got out of control. And if this exchange couldn't list us within a 3-month period, I thought that was an issue. I gave them a 3-month extension. They still couldn't do it. I just had enough. I wasn't going to wait any longer. So now we've got the listing feedback. The good news is now we can move forward. In the interim, I've been working, as everyone is aware, I've already, as a Q4 roadmap item, we have a US-friendly top exchange on there. We're doing a capital raise right now for that. Now that capital raise, I've got a soft cap of 500 BNB and a hard cap of 1888. Now, we're nowhere near the hard cap. We're nowhere near the soft cap. We're sitting just below 100 BNB of the 500. So I've made an executive decision, and what we're going to do is we're going to come forward with a US-friendly exchange, but it can't be a top level US-friendly exchange. And the reason it can't be is we don't meet the requirements. So this is where I want to talk a little bit more about the education about how this works. Now, for the top 5 exchanges, as I've gone through already, there are the requirements of liquidity, daily volume, and market cap. We don't have the market cap to list on those. It's as simple as that. Now, if we're trading at about 1 Satoshi right now, we're about 10 million, 12 million, 15 million, there and thereabouts. If we can raise that to 5 Satoshis, well, that changes everything. Now we're at a market cap of over 50 million. If we can go to 7 Satoshis, we're at 70, 75 million. That's a significant difference. How hard is it to go from 1 Satoshi to 5? Well, pretty easy. When we announced the last capital raise, we went to 5, maybe 6 Satoshis very, very quickly. On one exchange, we went over 70 Satoshis, boom, in a big spike. So that can happen. But that's not what these big exchanges are looking at. They want consistency, that we want to be there or thereabouts for at least 30 days, if not 60 days, have that proven history. So what the plan is now is we need to lift our market cap. We need to raise our price. How are we going to do that? We're going to get more publicity. We're going to get on bigger exchanges. We're going to really promote this as much as possible. So what the plan is, I'm going to tell you the new exchange and the new deal in the next video. I need to change my shirt because that's a red shirt video. So firstly, let's just quickly have this education. On a low-level exchange, it is quite simple to move forward. On a mid-level exchange, this is where we can build the daily volume. As we build the daily volume, we build more interest, we build more investors, market cap will increase over time. The more promotion we can do, the more people come in, obviously, the more buying, less selling, higher the price goes. Okay, it really is that simple. We need to maintain that level. So what the plan moving forward is we're going to look at an exchange at the same level as the previous exchange. Now, when I say the same level, the difference between the tiers depends on the reported volume. The reported volume comes from these APIs. Now, everyone, as I've already explained, the API issues we've had, other projects have the same. Exchanges also have the same issue when they're reporting on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. The simplest way to look at this, have a look at CoinMarketCap, click on exchanges, have a look at the top 25 at 10 a.m. Today, your time, or tomorrow, your time, and then do the same on CoinGecko. There's another one called Nomics. Have a look on that one as well. Then have a look at the exact same list at 3 p.m. your time. Have a look at the same list at 8 p.m. your time. What you'll see is these exchanges fluctuate massively in between each of the reporting agencies and in between each of the trading sessions through, some are more US friendly. So in the US session, they're going to have a much, much higher daily volume than what they do in a Euro session. Okay, so this is where it really does fluctuate. So when I say a top 15 rather than a top 10 or a number 8, it's because of the fluctuations. So I don't want to be misleading in any way, shape or form. The exchange that we're listing on now, worst case, I've seen it listed at number 30. Best case, I've seen it as a top 8 exchange. It depends on the time of day and it depends who you're looking at. So overall, I'm saying it's a top 15 exchange, but worst case, it's definitely a top 20. The one we were listing on previously was top 20 and normally a top 15. But I kept saying top 20 just to allow for that fluctuation and just so we didn't mislead in any way, shape or form. So the exchange we're going to list on now is about the same level as a tier 2 exchange. It's also a US friendly exchange. So what this is going to do, this is going to tick a Q4 roadmap item. We're going to get the US friendly exchange, which is going to be a top exchange. It's top 20 exchange, definitely. It's most probably a top 15 exchange. My next video, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So what we're going to do is tick this Q4 roadmap item. We're going to use this exchange to raise our market cap and to raise our daily volume. By doing that, we're going to be able to get on a high-end top 2 or a top 1 exchange as far as different phases of exchange, tier of exchanges. Now, I'll talk to you more about that in the next video, but for now, I hope that covers where we've been, what we've been doing and so forth. The good news though, is we're on 12 exchanges. So anyone out there saying, oh, we need more exchanges, we need more exchanges. We don't really need more exchanges. We're already on the top DEX exchange. We're on the second top DEX exchange. We've got 4 other DEX exchanges. We've got 5 other SEX exchanges. For those that don't know, decentralized exchanges or central exchanges. So it's looking really good with what we've got. The thing is, we want to get on bigger exchanges for more publicity and for a new audience. And that's the next step where we're going to move into. So guys, I'm going to step out for this video and I'll step back in a red shirt just in a minute and I'll give you an update on our new exchange. Okay, Metroids, I'm back. The red shirt's on. The red shirt, for those that don't know, this means it's good news coming out. So every time I've worn the red shirt, it's been really big partnership deals or new exchange listings or what have you. So today's no different. I'm going to get into our new exchange. So this is, as I've said in the previous video, it's definitely a top 20 exchange. I'm leaning towards more of a top 15 exchange. It just depends on the reporting back to CoinMarketCap or to CoinGecko. On CoinGecko, it's average around the 13 to 15 mark. And as I've already outlined in the previous video, just in case this gets sent off in a different direction, I'll just recap quickly. The difference is how the APIs report the actual daily volume. So you will see exchanges go from number 8 on CoinMarketCap all the way back to number 30. And it just depends on the daily volume. It also depends on the time of day, to who's trading, who's investing and so forth. So without further ado, let's talk about our new exchange. So if you look on CoinGecko, today it's number 16. Right now, as I'm recording this video, the lowest I've seen is about a number 8. So if we say top 20 exchange, I'm very happy with that. Our Q4 roadmap item was to make sure that we had a US friendly exchange that was a top exchange, top 20 exchange. That's what this is. So what I want to do when we release this exchange, and we are listed on this exchange, is tick that off that we've completed that. We're still doing a capital raise for that exchange though, and we're reusing the money from our previous exchange listing for this exchange. What I want to do, what the plan is to use this exchange to build our daily volume and to build our market cap. By doing that, through all the promotional activities, which I'll go through in a moment, but by doing that, we're going to be able to list on a top 10 exchange, and it will also be US friendly. So I won't talk about the specific exchanges, but if you look at the top, let's say 7, it doesn't matter if it's on CoinMarketCap or on CoinGecko. If you look at those top 7, there's 2 more in there that I'm really, really keen to get on by March next year. Now, the only way I can get on those exchanges by March next year is firstly, fix our requirements. We need to raise our market cap, we need to raise our liquidity, and we need to raise our daily volume. That's the idea of listing on this new exchange. Now, by doing that, with all these promotional activities, and if we keep going with the capital raise, because I need the listing funds, not only the fee for the listing, but I need to provide the liquidity for the listing. So we need to get up around that 500 BNB to be able to move forward with that project. So not asking for that money today. I'm asking for you to see what we're doing, have a look at the proof that the team is working in behind the scenes. Although we had a bump start with our previous exchange, this exchange, we will be live on or before the 30th of November, 2021. Today on my computer, it says we're at the 9th of November. By the time you see this, might be the 10th. So we're not far off. 2 to 3 weeks, we will be live. It will be a USD pair only. The reason I'm doing that is to maintain the spread. If we had a BTC Metrix pair, the spread is going to be too large, and we're not going to meet the exchange criteria. So it's going to be a USDT MRX trading pair. Okay. Now, for those that don't know about trading, you can easily swap your Bitcoin to USDT on the exchange if you want to buy Metrix with USDT. Once you have the Metrix, it's still Metrix. It doesn't matter if you sell it for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, for USDT. Okay, it's really just about buying. So the great news is this exchange has been fantastic to work with. I'm in contact with them on a daily basis. I've got the entire team from the listing side that I've been working with. I just can't say enough good things about them. I ask a question, within an hour I've got a reply. It's a professional reply every single time. It's not like what I've been dealing with over the past 7 months, ripping my hair out. You can see I've got hardly any left. So who is this exchange? Let's get into it. The exchange is called BitMart, B-I-T-M-A-R-T. They're a tier 2 exchange, and they're a tier 2 for the simple reason that a lot of the API reporting, as you will see when you compare CoinGecko to CoinMarketCap, it's not reflective on both. Okay, so the daily volumes are much higher than what is reported. I've done thorough due diligence on this, and I'm so excited. I've looked at their platform. I've traded on their platform. The platform itself, from a trading perspective, it's just amazing. It is so good. It's so clean cut. It's just very, very well organized. Now, let me see if I can quickly pull up the agreements that I have in place. Give me a sec. I'm not that technical. You guys know that. Okay. So what we want to do is not just list on this exchange. We want to create a pretty big impact. How are we going to create that impact? Well, we're going to work with the exchange to get their followers, their traders, their investors, their social media followers involved in what we do with Metrix. Now, normally for an exchange to want to partner with us from a marketing point of view, they're talking a minimum of 100,000 up to 200, 250,000 for a pretty lame package. What we've been able to negotiate with BitMart, and this is something that it just hasn't happened with the other exchanges today, is they're more than happy to work with us. They want to see the success in Metrix. The reason they want to see the success in Metrix is they make money on trading fees. That's what exchanges do. So they've agreed to work with us to do AMAs, live AMAs, that I'll jump on, some of the other team members will jump on, with the BitMart people behind the scenes that run their promotions. And that'll go out to their community. They're going to do banner ads on the main website. Now, there's over 6 million users of this exchange. It's huge advertising for us just having the banner ads alone. We're going to be doing multiple AMAs. They're going to be doing Twitter posts for us, outlining who we are, what we're all about. I've already given them an 800-word promo. I've given them a 300-word for a different community. I've given them a 150-word promo. We're going to continue to give him more and more information about the projects. They hold our white paper, they hold our grey paper, they hold our pitch deck. So all of this information is going to start to be emailed out to their databases. Their database on email is 500,000. There's 6 million active users. Their Telegram is 128,000. So we're going to get some very, very good advertising out of this, which is fantastic. The more advertising we can get, the higher the promotions, the better it's going to be for everyone. We're going to do some trading competitions. We're going to do some holding, buy and hold Metrix in your wallet competitions. There's all sorts of competitions that we're going to have. There's all sorts of participation that we're going to do with this exchange. The best bit, November 30 or before, so less than 3 weeks, we're going to have a really, really good US-friendly exchange that we're going to be listed on. Metroids, I can't tell you how happy I am. I can't tell you how much work it's been to get to this point. I can't tell you how disappointed I am with the previous and where it went, but we're back on track. Now, once we get this one working, once we get our daily volume working, once we get our liquidity higher, once we get our market cap higher, that's going to open the door to these new exchanges. Now, these new exchanges are tier 1 exchanges. They are not Binance, I can tell you that now, and it's not OKI, I can tell you, or OKEx, I can tell you that now. We just do not meet the requirements to list on those ones. But if you look at the top 8 and you take those 2 away, you take FTX away, we just will not meet that requirement. And it's beyond our level of requirement unless we get some massive partnerships on board. They will not happen in this bull cycle. It's not to say they can't happen in the next bull cycle or in between now and the next bull cycle. Those 3 will not happen. If you want to look at the top 8, remove those ones, remove the ones that aren't US friendly. It'll give you a very good idea of what I'm talking about. They're very, very good exchanges. There's going to be huge publicity once we get on those exchanges. The only way we can get on those exchanges is more of the capital raise. I'm not asking for the money now. Wait till we get listed on this exchange. Have a look. Let us prove what we're doing here. Let us prove that this is going to work. And then once you're satisfied with the job the team's doing, that we're moving forward in the way we need to be moving forward, then yes, I am asking for more money in the capital raise because we need money to be able to list on these exchanges. It's as simple as that. So guys, I'm fantastically rapt to announce this. It's something that I've been really looking forward to announcing for quite some time. We just had to get past all the legalities. We had to get everything in play. It's now all in play. We've got a listing date. It's all steam ahead. Please expect in the next, I'd say within a week, you will see a full promotion from BitMart starting to promote Metrix as well, which is something that we'll like and share. Please do your part. The more help you can give us on the social media side, the more that you can share this excitement, the more people we can onboard. The more people we can onboard, the faster everything starts to happen. Guys, that's it from me. Congratulations for all of us. Cheers for now.